I'm Mike.
And I'm Steve, and you're watching COMX-TV.
Hi, I'm Tommy Gunn.
Susie Owens.
Voodoo. Draculino. You're watching COMX-TV.
Spider-Man, Superman, they're all coming right to you. Venom, Bud, Archie too, they will all be here for you on COMX-TV. COMX-TV. Fantasy and enemy, what's it gonna be now? Alternative and mainstream too, here every week for you on COMX-TV. COMX-TV.
Welcome to another great show. Today's great reviews include
Silly Daddy, Awakening Comics, and Chassis.
Kiss, Psycho Circus, Xena, Warrior Princess, and The Dark.
We'll feature Jim Ottaviani in our interview segment.
There's also Check Your Comic Q and a dual review of Vampirella Wetworks. So stay tuned as we bring you lots of great comic book fun.
And don't forget, the COMX-TV In Your Face tour will begin on Saturday, October 25th at 3 p.m. when COMX-TV has a live taping at the Walden Pub, 1233 Walden Avenue near Harlem Road.
So come out in costume for the 4th annual Halloween Spooktacular live taping of COMX-TV. Meet the COMX-TV girls. Have your picture taken with us. Oh, well, there'll be going to be free food, free comics, and a lot of good fun.
Yep.
So, what else can we say except let's kick off today's show with Steve's first comic book review.
Okay, kids, long awaited. My first book is Xena, Warrior Princess from Topps Comics. It's issue number 1 of 2 and costs $2.95. Written by Roy Thomas. Xena, Gabrielle, and Jasker fight for their lives against 2 of the Gorgon sisters. I think I know them too. The Gorgons want to kill them for killing their sister Medusa. Can they survive this battle and live to issue number 2? Probably. At least one of them does. The story was good, but I expect more for the first issue, especially since this is an action comic. The art was excellent. There's a lot of detail down to the tiniest minute things. I give penciler Joyce Chin credit for that, definitely. You have your choice of a standard cover or the photo cover, which I bought because she looks so good on it. But, so plan on wasting your money on this book. Make it the photo cover of Xena, not the drawn cover. It looks a lot better. I give this book a not hot, though. It didn't meet up to my expectations.
That's too bad, especially for an issue 1.
For issue 1, I was very disappointed.
Topping the comics news this week, The Visions of Freedom is a 39-card factory set featuring all new exclusive artwork from both mainstream and independent top-notch creators from Ultimate Art.
All proceeds will benefit the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, crusade to protect First Amendment rights of all comic book professionals for comic book-related censorship issues.
Creators like Mark Badger, Peter David, even Evan Dorkin, Bob Fingerman, and more. The set is $15 plus shipping. Phone 1-800-99-CBLDF or email cbldf@CompuServe.com.
The Comic Shop News reports that Marvel will return to the World Age of Apocalypse and Tales of the Age of Apocalypse. Sinister Bloodline, a new one-shot coming in December.
Warren Ellis, Matt Broom, and Sean Parsons present X-Men Wildcats, The Dark Age in December. This 48-page one-shot will pit the teams against the combined menace of the Demonites and the Sentinels.
Mutant, must destroy mutant.
Stay tuned for more important COMX-TV news later in today's show.
Stay tuned.
Robert Crumb is a pioneer in the comic book field. Much of his work is thought of as great. His new series with his wife, Aline Kominsky, is horrid. Self-Loathing Comics is a $3.50 waste of my time. It's a boring look into a boring man's life. Fantagraphics Books brings you this? Yeah, boring and not. Silly Daddy, number 13 is from Joe Chiapetta. This is a small digest-sized comic with more text than pictures in it. When I first opened it, I put it aside because it looked just a little too boring for me. When I finally read it, it was a quick read and it was actually kind of funny. It's true stories about Joe's life as a parking valet. It was funny and it was a decent read. It's a bit expensive at $2.75, but I like this series. It's a hot and it's for mature readers.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Would you have let Joe park your car?
I've met the guy. He's a pretty
He's
nice
a great guy, but
I don't know if I'd let him park my car.
Yeah. Still coming up, our dual review of Vampirella Wetworks, and next our interview with Jim Ottaviani.
But first, we're going to check your comic view queue to see how much you know about comic books.
Okay, this week, this one should be a pretty easy one if you're a follower of the book Spawn. In the book Spawn, Clown has an alter ego. What is it? Figure that one out.
We'll have that answer for you later in today's show. Right now, we're going to bring you an interview with Jim Ottaviani, creator of Two-Fisted Science. And we'll be back after the interview with another review from Steve.
I'm doing well. So far the response has been really neat.
So, tell us about Two-Fisted Science.
Two-Fisted Science is this individual comic that we're looking at is the first issue in what I hope is an ongoing series of true stories illustrated by famous and not so famous, but all very good comic book artists featuring scientists. The first book features Richard P. Feynman, Nobel Prize winning physicist, award-winning artist, professional bongo player in Brazil, safe cracker during the Manhattan Project, and the fellow who broke open the Challenger investigation on national TV about a year before he died.
Really?
And this is the story of him at Los Alamos, breaking into most of the safes there while he, basically in his spare time.
Really?
Yeah.
So, now this is interesting. What do you do here? Are you the writer?
I'm the writer, and I've had the great good fortune of having a number of excellent artists work on the project so far. As you can see, the individual comic-size issue is done by Bernie Miro, Grendel, Tales, Batman, and he also did his own book, The Jam. And the 128-page trade paperback, which will be coming out this fall, features a Paul Chadwick cover and art by Donna Barr, Mark Badger, Colleen Doran, Steve Lieber, who's right next to me here today, Rob Walton of Ragmop fame, Scott Roberts of Patty Cake. It pretty much goes on and on. I've really had a great time working on this and writing up a script and then basically getting to read the story all over again as interpreted by some of my favorite artists.
Now this is a different twist in America. We don't have too many stories like this.
Actually, there are a lot of stories like this. We just don't do comic books about.
Well, that's what I meant in comic book form. I mean, in Europe and Japan, I mean, this would be popular or common.
Well, I hope it would be popular. It's available through Diamond, and I guess I was just talking to a retailer from Great Britain about a half an hour ago, and she said, yeah, they order through Diamond as well. But yeah, it's not the typical. Well, I hate to say not the typical. Perhaps this is unusual in the American comic book market, but I think because most of the comics that you do see owe a debt to science to some extent anyway, or at the very least pseudoscience. You know, all that Spider-Man stuff, that's supposedly scientific, and there's supposedly a scientific basis of why the Flash is so fast and all this sort of thing. I thought doing something about real scientists would be kind of a neat thing to do. And I've been reading history of science and been a scientist myself for many, many, many years.
Oh, really?
And so this is the kind of stuff that I really enjoy reading, and so I'm hoping that there are readers out there who like the same sort of thing I do.
So you are a scientist? You have a degree in that?
Yeah, I've got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in nuclear engineering.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that what you do during the day?
No, actually, I've given it up. I've given up the lucrative business of nuclear engineering and am now a librarian.
Oh, really?
My next book is Kiss. Psycho Circus! Ah! Number 2 from Image Comics. This is a $1.95 book, written by Brian Holgram and art by Angel Medina. The story has a very, very dark, evil plot to it. When a young boy named Adam realizes whatever he thinks will come true, he starts taking revenge on everybody that messed with him his whole life. His father, the priest, this pretty girl that he really liked. You'll find out when you read the book. The Sons of Darkness are called in to try and set him straight. The art in this book was typical Image with a Kiss twist to it. That's all it was. There was nothing out of the ordinary in it. The story was very, very dark. It deals with a lot of adult situations, but very, very well written. It kept my interest throughout from page 1 right to the end. This is the 3rd Kiss series to come out, the first since way back in 1978 when I was a freshman in high school.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, this book is hot as the hottest band in the world, Kiss, debuts in their 3rd series. The only thing I must say with this is, Kiss are not good guys in this book. They're the Sons of Darkness. They are evil. This is what I liked about this book.
You have a Kiss and twist. Is that kind of like a twist of lime or something?
It's like a twist of Kiss.
48 pages for only $3.50.
Wow, what a deal!
Steve Peters' Awakening Comics is introduced to the reader. He's a Xerox Foundation recipient. This is issue number 1 from Peters, and it proves to be an interesting book. Peters has several different art styles that are distinctly different. It's a collection of many types of stories. There are dreamscape stories, and some just plain old weird stories. There is a neat 3-page stint in the story Circus of Heaven, in which each of the 18 panels is done by a different artist. People like Dave Sim, Greg Hyland, Paul Pope, Rick Veitch, among many others. It's one of the best parts of the book, and it shows that he has many fans among the stars. The last couple stories are okay. They include a kid's superhero team. I mean, none of this is great, but the book is entertainment. It was fun to read. There are some shining examples, and with a few issues, Peters may be able to craft a pretty good book for himself. For a first full-size comic, because apparently he had some mini comics before this, it's very readable. For 50 cents more than most comics, you do get 48 pages. So check it out at your local comic book store. I give Awakening Comics a hot.
And don't forget, you can write at COMX-TV at P.O. Box 220, Buffalo, New York, 14225, or email us at COMX-TV@localnet.com. Don't forget to do that.
And it's working because we have some fans that have emailed me. We're going to be getting some new music for our show. This next segment is called Rich's Ramblings. It's courtesy of Rich Johnston.
Rich's Ramblings. Yes. Remember, these rumors are presented as gossip and entertainment only.
Okay, Grant Morrison has been offered an X title by Marvel at $1,000 a page and may be jumping ship from Justice League America after some dissatisfaction with DC.
For $1,000 a page?
I'd do it.
There is presently no Generation X confirmed artist. Tommy Lee Edwards was offered the position, but was tied up with Moon Knight, and Marvel needed an immediate replacement. Edwards will be drawing Daredevil, however.
DC is trade paperbacking and recoloring Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Dark Horse didn't like Jamie Delano's Millennium treatment, and the project is on hold, scrapped, just like the New York Yankees. It's out of here!
Whoa. But don't forget, the COMX-TV Halloween Spooktacular, live October 25th, 3 p.m., the Walden Pub, 1233 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga. Be there, be square, enjoy the fun. Now, on to another wonderful comic book review by this guy.
Another wonderful one from me. The Darkness, number 8, is from Image Comics. I got new lips today, so you gotta excuse me. It's $2.50, written by Christina Z, with art by Joe Bennett. A sadistic and evil being called the Darkness has taken a personal vendetta against the mob families. The Zamboni family, oh, like that's original, and the Yakuza, another original, are his main targets. He is trying to destroy both families, but there is something deeper going on and wants to find out what it is. The writing was excellent. It makes me want to read more of issue 9 and maybe issue 7 if I can get a hold of it. It's kind of a story you want to read in a comic book. It keeps your interest up. I mean, it's just enjoyable. The writing was excellent, and the art was also excellent, especially the little gnomes that run around. They're really cool. You should see these things. They're real cool. They dress up real funky like Mike. They got little goatees on them. They're really cool. Mike's a gnome.
So I'm a gnome?
He's a gnome. Michael is a gnome. On a COMX-TV rating scale, I must give The Darkness #8 a hot, and the art and the story just flowed like water. An excellent book. Pick it up today if you can find it. If not, order #9 already.
Wow. Spawn #69 reveals oodles of secrets about the Freak, but Spawn and Cog may not like what they learn.
Look for a comic adaptation of Spawn the movie coming this December from Todd and the Boys.
Kurt Busiek's Astro City Volume 2 #1 gets the 3D treatment in December. Talks are also underway for a line of action figures similar to the Spawn toys in detail and 9 inches tall.
That's a big toy.
Yes,
not a big 6-incher, a big 9-inch toy.
That's right.
Kitchen Sink Press is back on schedule since new owners have taken over. Upcoming projects include
the R-Crumb Coffee Table art book, The Spirit, Violent Cases, and a Cages collection.
Phil Conley, our friend, is bringing some big-name artists to the Buffalo area in November. Joe Quesada, Jim Palmiotti, Louis Small Jr., Rick Buckley Jr. will be all part of Collectible Show in Niagara Falls, November 14th through the 16th.
So stay tuned for more information about that. That looks like a great show.
Yep.
Now we've got a little bit of action figure review / news / stuff. We've got, first of all here, I finally got these in. These were delayed by a couple months. They're part of the Warrior Nun series. We've got the Holy White Warrior Nun Ariella, and we've got Shotgun Mary. These are from Antarctic Press. You may have remember some months back I had the original Warrior Nun Ariella doll. I guess they're dolls.
Yeah.
They're toys.
Action figures.
Does it say action figure on here anywhere? I don't think so. They're toys. They're dolls. Anyhow.
So that means Mike plays with dolls.
They're kind of nice. I don't remember exactly what they were going for. They're somewhere in the $10 range. Steve said that he saw them somewhere for about $10, and they're kind of nice. They're small. Actually, they're smaller than Twitch here, and the detail is nice on them.
Yeah, the detail is very nice on those.
The Shotgun Mary, she's got little removable sunglasses. She's got some real fine detail in here. It looks like some person getting paid about 5 cents an hour with
yeah,
sitting there with a little
silver pen. They were all the buttons and the buckles and everything.
But they're kind of nice. I mean, I only got them because they were only being sold through the distributor through the comic book stores.
That's one thing I was going to say is you can't buy these off the shelf. The reason I seen them at the one. He dealt in specialty toys. He had like Violator, big dolls, and all that.
Right.
So these were something that you just don't find on the shelves. If you do see them somewhere, grab them because they're definitely neat. Mine, I'm going with my honey, Xena.
His next wife.
My next wife. Sorry, honey. My next wife. Xena 2, this is from the Hercules Xena Legendary Journeys. What?
Xena also?
Xena also. Wise guy. The only thing I didn't like, the detail on this wasn't that good. It doesn't really look like Xena. Compared to the first doll, the first action figure looks a lot more like her. This one looks more like they took the head off a Malibu. They took her head off a Malibu Barbie and painted her hair brown with blue eyes. She does have a removable skirt. For all you pervs out there. All you little pervs out there. She's got 2 arrows and a bow. Her little ringy thing that she throws and cuts people's heads up with. Other than the detail in this, I would say this wasn't worth $10, which I paid for it.
This is the Hercules too.
It's the Hercules series. So Xena doesn't have her own series yet, just the Hercules series. And my Xena can kick your shotgun Mary and Ariel's butt in.
Oh, well, I'll take all 3 of them.
Oh, I could take 3 on, no problem.
The nuns will fly. The nuns will fly.
But I would say think twice about buying this for $10 because it was $10, and I know they're hard to find. The Xena dolls are hard to find, but think about this. This just might be, if you're a big Xena fan like I am, just something to keep for your collection, your private collection.
Daryl Taylor and William O'Neill have crafted 2 new books. Chassis from Millennium Comics and Violent Messiah from their own Hurricane Comics. Both issues are #1 and both cost $2.95. The main difference is the Millennium book is full color. Chassis McBain is a rocket race car driver in a world in which World War II never occurred. Chassis is the star driver and everyone is always trying to derail her. It's an action-adventure comic book. O'Neill's art is very defined and hardline driven. The cover is by Adam Hughes, which is nice. The story isn't bad and it's a decent adventure comic. Violent Messiahs is a very different book. It's a gritty book about Ranker Island, a city about the size of Manhattan. There's Detective Sherry Major, who heads Violent Messiahs, which is a special task force to capture vigilantes. The book is okay. It's not great. The art is good, similar style to Chassis with the defined line art. The story was a bit on the boring side, though. Didn't seem to break any great new ground. Overall, I like Chassis, and I think it would be a good all-ages comic, full color, too. So I give that one a hot. But Violent Messiahs, I'm going to pass on for now. If I see that it gets a little better in the later issues, I will let you know.
And now, the answer to today's Check Your Comic Q.
That's right.
The question the question is, in the Spawn series, Clown has an alter ego. Who is it?
That alter ego would be
the Violator. Yes, the Violator. Now, if you're a big Spawn fan, that was a very easy question for you.
And if you've seen the movie or the animated series, you've seen it there.
Exactly.
Today, on the Dual Review, don't bring out yours or I'm going to bring out mine.
Okay. I win. Mine's bigger.
Vampirella Wetworks. It's $2.95. It's from Harris Comics, and it's Vampirella versus Wetworks.
But actually, it's not Vampirella versus.
Well, it is at first. Wetworks, you got the team. They show up. Vampirella's trying to. She's out. Her vengeance is to kill all vampires.
And Wetworks all of a sudden started having problems with vampires in the city. They never believed about them, and now they have to kill all these vampires, and they're hell bent on killing every vampire, including Vampirella.
Well, she happens to be there. She's a vampire, so they decide that she's bad too. So they're trying to kill her, and Mother One is taken over by this bad vampire, I guess.
No, what it was is, see, the story's screwed up already. What it is this vampire cult is looking for the perfect sacrifice for the Queen of Hearts to take over, to be their leader. The Queen of Hearts is a card which takes over your body. It turns you very evil. It has showed up in some of the other Vampirella books. It has showed up in, who's the one, the other Vampirella? Evangeline. Queen of Hearts has been in Evangeline. And what happens is, Wetworks breaks in to break up this gathering of all these vampires and starts killing them, and so does Vampirella. And this leader of the vampire cult's running away, and he's got the Queen of Hearts in a jar, and Vampirella smashes the jar, and it takes over Mother One. But seeing as Mother One is part machine, she cannot fully take over it. And the battle begins. Mother One is trying to take over all the other Wetworks.
Mother One as the Queen of Hearts.
As the Queen of Hearts is trying to tell all the other Wetworks.
She's part human, so...
And she's Symbionite, too, that covers their skin. The Wetworks teams cover skin, and she controls all of it, so she's trying to control them. And finally, later in the book, Dane realizes that Vampirella is trying to help them, not hurt them. So he frees her from her chains, and so on and so forth, and the battle rages on.
Yeah, and the battle rages.
I found, all in all, I found the book very, very good. It was interesting. There's some great drawn pictures of Vampirella. They made her look very, very erotic in this one. Very, very sexy.
Erotic?
Erotic.
Erotic?
Not neurotic, erotic. Very sexy.
But she always looks sexy. She always looks sexy. I don't know.
I don't know. When there's something about a woman that flips out a set of bat wings that just turns me on.
Image is suddenly going crossover crazy. They're doing crossovers with
left
Marvel
and right. It's unreal.
And with Harris, and I mean they're doing it with everyone. I don't know why, but maybe it's the big guys are doing it with them. I mean
that's could be
because
too,
they're big enough that.
But they're selling. The books are selling. I mean,
yes, I'll agree. The art was good. The story wasn't bad.
I liked it because they're bringing back the Queen of Hearts.
I mean, it wasn't a bad story, but they're just getting off into this goofy stuff. I mean, Vampirella is. I guess you have to take it somewhere else. Otherwise, what are you gonna do? She's just gonna be out killing vampires all the time. And
Same story and fighting hemorrhage over and over and over again.
Exactly. I guess you can only take that so far. So they're working on doing some different things. So.
Yeah.
I understand that point, but I didn't think the book was great, so I'm going to personally give Vampirella Wetworks a not.
And I thought the book was very good. It was a great story, great artwork. I give it a hot. So this is one that me and Mike are disagreeing on, which is unusual. But we disagreed, and check it out. Pick it up in the store and check it out and see what's going to happen.
That's right. Well, thank you for tuning in this week. We hope you enjoyed today's show. And as always, contact us here with information, questions, anything you want to know about Comics TV. Check out our website. You know, we got a lot of good stuff going on. And my name is Mike Rizzo.
And I'm Steve Przybyla. And as we say each and every week, reading is your best investment. So check it out. So when you visit that local comic book store to pick up that book me and Mike talked about today, tell them you've seen us on COMX-TV, the world's best comic book show. Don't forget, Saturday, October 25th at 3 p.m., Walden Pub, the first stop of the COMX-TV in your face store. Be there or be square.
Archie 2, they will all be here for you on Comics TV, Comics TV. Fantasy and little me, what's it gonna be now? Alternative, mainstream too, here every week for you on Comics TV, Comics TV.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Steve, and we're from Comics TV.
Did you know that reading is an important part of your education?
Hey, if I didn't know how to read, I couldn't do this show.
Reading anything is good. Newspapers, books, magazines.
And even comic books.
That's right, Steve. Comic books of any kind are good for your reading education. There are comic books of all kinds.
Sci-fi, fantasy, adventure,
horror, autobiographical, and much more.
So remember, reading is your best investment.
You'll always need it, and you'll always use it.